So come on in, take a sip, and let's wind down. It's Friday, which is my second favorite day of the week when it comes to the crossword. And no matter how tired I am on a Thursday, just dragging my third point of contact everywhere I go because, I'm so worn out. Yeah, but Friday rolls around. I got all the energy in the world because, it's Friday, nothing to do. Home this afternoon. It's nice. Had a fantastic change of command ceremony today. I'm going to miss the brigade commander, and I'm looking forward to getting to know the new one. Just wonderful, though, to be a civilian at these things and not have to worry about standing at attention the whole time. And yeah, that's always a good thing. And the weather has a crisp in the air. I feel like somebody should be throwing a football around here, but, probably not that likely unless we go all the way to Schwäbisch Hall, where I think the Unicorns are an American-style football team based out of there. And if you've never seen NALF, N-A-L-F, that's November Alpha Lima Foxtrot, N-A-L-F. He's got a fantastic channel where he just talks about living in Germany. And he was a college ball player. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he went to Georgetown, maybe, and played ball there, finished degree, something. And then he went to work, not in the pros as in the NFL, but he went to play for several years here in Bavaria. Like, that's what he did. I mean, he played football in Bavaria. We do have American-style football here. It's just not as common as, say, what we call soccer in the States. So, very cool channel, though. And it's just been kind of funny watching him through the years. He got here around the same time I did. And just kind of watching his channel grow and everything that he does. And he's just a funny guy, right? He's very pragmatic. And so, I don't know if I can throw a card up here. I don't ever try that. I'll try it, but if not, just NALF. He's really just kind of a gas. He's a really cool guy, and I think his brother's playing football, perhaps in the pros. I'm not sure. I don't know. Nice backstory, nice everything. Recently got married, and he moved to my mother's hometown of Heidelberg, which is in Baden-Württemberg, Deutschland, Germany. So beautiful. Love seeing him grow into his role. It's just fantastic, right? From a former football player in Germany to now a full-time content creator, which is kind of fun. So the dictionary.com word of the day is a talisman. Talisman. Familiar with the term, though the more I think about it, I'm wondering what the difference between a talisman and, say, a totem is. I mean, you can say, well, maybe size or whatnot, but nevertheless, it's about an object engraved, etc. Maybe it has some sort of significant meaning, etc. So something I have to dig into. So I'd like to know what the difference is. I mean, is a totem a certain size? I mean, I know a totem pole, maybe, but, I don't really know much about that stuff. And whatever the character was in what was that, the movie, Tom Hanks was in the movie, but I read the book. I can't remember. It wasn't Tom Wolfe. I can't remember who. Dan Brown. Something about the Da Vinci Code or something, and then angels and something, and demons. Anyway, that whole idea of having a PhD in symbolism or something like that is really attractive, but I think I'm done with school. So, that said, a little bit of a cocktail. What I sometimes refer to as solver's courage. Let's hop into our grid, see what we've got here. So, we have a Friday, September 5th, Common Era year of 2025. We have a Bryan Cheong construction here, and this is his debut in the New York Times, so I'm excited about that. I love it when we get new constructors in, but I also love it when we get the constructor royalty, right? That's always a fun thing as well. So, of course, edited by the inimitable Will Shortz. Boy, try to say that after 7 scotches. Inimitable. Inimitable. It doesn't really work. Let's hop into Gris, see what we got. So, one who tries to make a good impression. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, we got a lot of things that could go there. So let's just take the downs, why don't we? Let's see. Skirt. Avoid. I mean, technically address. I don't know. Let's see. Water brand whose logo shows the Alps. And I guess we're talking about, that would be Evian, I do believe. And I know I always harp on this, but it is kind of funny thinking back to all the times that people are like, that stuff's free. You can get out of your tap for free. Yeah, Evian spells naive backwards, Okay, got it. Now everybody's drinking it, right? So I'm getting it. Elated. How about scent? It's kind of funny how you can play with the tenses on these words, right? And so Greg Blank, author of the 1994 sci-fi novel Permutation City, and I have never read it. I've just seen the name before, and I think it's like Egan or something. I don't know. Does some stretching. That's Egan. We could fit in lies. Okay, lies. Yeah, you're stretching something. It's not your hamstrings. No, it focused on the downward-facing dog, right? No. It's just being a dog-faced liar. Is that even a thing, a dog-faced liar? I don't know. So I feel like that could be Egan. I mean, I really do feel like my memory's serving me well here today. So skirt could be to dodge. Oh, I hope this is right. That would be fun. Money wasted on poor decision-making jocularly. Okay. Idiot something. One who tries to make a good impression. A dentist. Got it. Got to get those molds right. Got to be able to bring you your ugly teeth. Because they are, no matter how beautiful your teeth are when surrounded with, like, say, cheeks and lips and stuff. When you see that, the gums and that's bad. Colorful fish with iridescent stripes. If I had to guess, I'd say neon tetra, but I'm not an ichthyologist. It has X's and O's. Oh, love note. We'll try it. But I can tell you right now, I get X's and O's every day. Get love notes left for me all over the place. I turn down my sun visor, and then a little note will just roll out like it was the Ark of the Covenant that I just opened with all the scrolls there. And it just says, hey, just want you to know you're wonderful and extremely sexy. I love you. That kind of stuff. All the time. Every single day of the week. It's amazing. Need for demo. Maybe. How about TNT? Dynamite. I think we do have a neon tetra here, so we'll try this. And a really small amount could be an iota, so therefore maybe we have an idiot tax. That would be fun. Let's put it in. Let's see. It's kind of fun. I like it. An idiot tax. I don't think I've ever heard of that before. Bell blank real life 19th century outlaw celebrated in film and TV. Bell Star. But nowhere near the reception that Big Nose Kate got. Why, Kate, you're not wearing a bustle. How lewd. I'm honestly not quite sure I even know what a bustle is. Let's see. Goal of a squeeze bunt for short. How about a run batted in? And if that's not right, I'm just going to put a run. Because I think that's what we're looking for, right? But we'll see. Paragon. We've got the space. So I'm going to put in a textbook example. Okay, we start checking because, I went and did this to myself, didn't I? I can't stay on track because I had to go and be a gambling man. Alley-oop. Gotta try this X down here. That should be an easy one. Formal duds. Tux. Got it. And bang into, how about Ram? Built Ram tough. Brought to you by Ram Pickup Trucks. I kind of wish. Never owned one. Don't think I would. But yeah, I could be all Ram tough. You can solve the New York Times Crossword with Christopher. We can just wind down and be Ram tough with the Hemi engine or whatever they keep droning on about. Obama family member with credits as a TV writer, and I guess this would be Malia. I don't know anybody else with an M there. And I don't know which ones are. There's two in the family. There's a family of four, right? You got the president, and then you got Sasha, Malia, and then Michelle. Two of them have round faces, and then two of them are more gaunty faces, right? And that would be the president and one of the two daughters. And I think they've both. I saw in an interview one time where President Obama was talking about the fact that the round faces are perhaps maybe a more aggressive, more assertive, Anyway, the round faces in that family scare the I don't know how to even describe them. Maybe the gaunt-faced ones. I think that's kind of funny. So, monks, honorifics. I don't know. How about doms? We'll go with the doms on that. Check real quick. Gently presses as a gas pedal. I don't know. Eases on? I don't know. Bit of concert merch. Wow. 3 days in a row, maybe? I don't know, but I think we're good on our textbook example. I feel pretty confident in it. Let's make sure Tetra's good here. So pro whose work might be shocking. You know, I am actually formerly licensed as an EMT2 and a surgical tech, phlebotomist, radiology tech. I did a lot of stuff younger. Dabbled around in medicine an awful lot. And I remember there was an awful lot of study that went into using defibrillation devices, and now they're just hanging on bathroom walls. I think that says a lot. But does anybody really know how to say, I don't know, clear? Right? You know, so that you make sure that you're not sending a shocking example to anybody who's just like a bystander trying to help. I don't know. It seems kind of like it just... I know it's all about the good, right? You know, and I guess a little shock, a little zap is better, you know, than someone not having opportunity to live through something. And so I'm not against it. It's just that why did we go through so much training over that, right? Like 40 years ago or however long it's been. It's a long time. So seriously harm, I think, would be to maim. And I have an ALS qualified nurse sitting right behind me. I don't know. She's not piping up, so clearly I must be in the right with my statement of wonder.
What'd you say?
Just how I was just saying that, you know, going through EMT2 certification, you know, everything was so huge with the use of defibrillation devices. Like you have to clear exactly where to put them, how often, etc. And of course, CPR rules change every year. Some years we breathe, some years we just do compressions, some years we just breathe and we don't do any compressions. I mean, it's like, you never know. But I'm just saying, we all had training with defibrillators, and now it's like they're just hanging on bathroom walls. So, I guess it's a good thing. I mean, I'm not complaining. Just saying it's just different, you know. If you just happen to be touching that person when somebody else is giving them the shock treatment, you're going to feel a little bit of a zap on that, right? So, just beware. Come on, just once. Why don't you try it? This is a great grid. I'm loving this one. So, small semi-aquatic mammal with 22 tentacles on its snout. Oh, I've seen this. It's like, it's got this, that's what it looks like this. It's got this thing. It looks alien almost. I think star something. Let's see. Word with human or second. How about nature? Yeah, so star-nosed. I've seen these. Not as interesting as that crazy honey badger, but interesting animals nevertheless. Constriction of the pupils. Myopia? I don't know where we're going with that. Let's see. Ones who might be looking toward careers at museums. How about art majors? I didn't major in art because I was already an artist. I felt like, why? I'm pretty good at this. I can paint, I can sculpt, I can do that kind of stuff. Being an artist, you're always a student of art. So I chose literature instead. Blank bien. All right in Spanish. Está bien. Está bien. Está bien? Sí, estoy bien, gracias. Go with. Sliding screen in a Japanese tea room. Isn't that a shoji? Oh, I don't know. Manscapes, perhaps. Woo! Manscaping. I have that done. I've got a girl. Can you imagine? Destroyed emotionally. Okay, I don't know. I don't even know how to guess on that one. So I think we do have a shoji, though. seem to remember that much, I think. Oh, we got a set. Gesundheit, my love. Es ist kein Problem. Gesundheit, mein Schatzi. So maybe I'm something, so bounce. Bounce. I have no idea where we're going with that. Let's see, destroyed emotionally. So, I'm thinking maybe tore up. What do we got down here? Cookbook quantity. I'm going with a teaspoon to start. And that gives me an escort here. And like canvas grocery bags would be reusable. And by the way, to our contest winners up in Dublin, Indiana, and well, anyway, the point is your decals have been resent along with iron-ons for a lovely white t-shirt. Enjoy. They're being sent to the U.S. mail now because apparently there's some issue with sending stuff from Germany through the German postal system. When it gets to the States, apparently, I don't know, customs or something is now having to go through everything, and I think they're really backed up. So you might wind up with 2 eventually. So I'll just start sending it from my U.S. mail address, even though it's easier to send mail from Germany, in Germany, when you live in Germany. So I'm just saying. Excess of inventory could be an overstock, and so I guess we got tore up for destroyed emotionally, and so bounce, maybe carom, and that would make us I'm sad, and that's sad. Daniel, I think it's Day Kim of Hawaii 5-0. Let's see, schedule placeholder to be announced. And a star-nosed mole. I think that's it. So Daniel Day Kim of Hawaii 5-0. A young 31 down. Well, what's up with 31 down? Misses watching a bullfight. Okay, I see it. Got the question mark. It's a clever one. You're a clever one, Bryan Cheong. So we'll go with senoritas. Senoritas. I just wish, I'd give anything if I could put that tilde above that N. I just wish I could. So condiment at an Asian fusion restaurant, maybe teriyaki sauce. Sauce. Yeah, no. No, I'm on it, Sue. I'm on it. I found it quickly. We'll see if I'm trying to find a device that I can pre-record a sound so I can put the Wilhelm scream in there. And every time I do that, I'm trying to find one. I'm sure there's one on Amazon. Just got to look for it. So a young señorita, maybe muchachas, and spot for a speaker could be a dais. Topping dolloped on fresh Italian tomatoes, perhaps. Ooh, now I tell you what, Shotzi's ears just perked up. What? Fresh Italian tomatoes? What? I guarantee it. So we have constricted pupils as meiosis, very nice. And let's see, groundbreaking invention, not to be outdone by number 4 down with just TNT. We're going to go for the full Monty here. We're going to go for the dynamite stick. And bold choice, perhaps. We got here big NYSE news with the stock exchange loves an IPO. Well, I tell you what, I did pretty well when Red Hat Linux came out. I had an opportunity with them and with Realtek, and we made some pretty good money on that. I mean, we're talking like maybe $100 investment in like the turn of the century, the recent century. I'm afraid if I say turn of the last century, it might mean 1899 to 1900. No, I'm talking about 99 to 2000. You know, Y2K, all the planes were going to fall out of the sky, but we were all waiting. Should all the planes fall out the sky? That's what we were singing on New Year's Eve, 1999. Lead into integration. How about disintegration? And let's see what the sans refers to in Comic Sans, and that would be a serif. And for our new solvers and our younger members, sans serif just simply means without feet. So you've got typefaces like Times, say, or Baskerville or whatnot that have little plinths in capitals, right? You know, and like I's and P's and T's and whatnot. And then you have those typefaces that don't. And when they don't have little feet, they're sans serif. So there you go. A little bit of a break there. And I think we've got ourselves a typeface here. Interesting enough, typefaces versus fonts. Does anybody know? I often use an MP3 player and the MP3 itself as an example. If you could parse through that, I'll send you a decal. Let me know in the description. Let me know in the comments below. That would be great. But I think it's a pretty good metaphor. But nevertheless, what's the difference between a typeface and a font? As a former creative director at an ad agency, oh, I know. Okay. Don't accept my apology then. This is clever. Fine, be mad. Which might have been spoken around me on occasion. Not going anywhere. Do we have inert? I don't know. Provided with as anonymous tips. Fed to? I don't know. Cold one. Oh, do we have a beer or a brew? I have no idea. Okay, let's see what we got here. Not fram. Okay, not family friendly in a way. Could be rated R or mature. I don't know. Well, I don't know. Okay, let's see. Jewish honorific. Got an E here. Game with 32 card deck. And this is écarté. Not too different from ballet, I do believe. Ballet, depending on where you're from. Jewish honorific, I'm going with a reb. And present or present, perhaps bestow, since I think this is inert now for sure. Yeah, it's always about, and we got a brew here. We got brew. And we got rated R, so fed to for provided with as anonymous tips. That is a pretty clever one there. So rated R, écarte, and bestow. And logical inconsistency in a story could be a plot hole. Oh, shut up, you plot hole. Did you just call me a logical inconsistency? Yes, I did. Yes, I absolutely did. Well, it's ad hominem. You're right. It is. Has an unsettled Venmo request, say. Maybe O's. Though if it's a request. Musical lead into beat. How about Afrobeat? Oh, one of my favorite genres of music. Bird that can build tools and remember human faces. And that is a crow. And I am always astonished by that. When you see animals using tools without an opposing thumb. You know, radialis metacarpi, right? Yeah, this thing. What an amazing thing that is. It allows us to do so much. Had that opposing thumb. And, you know, just saying. I mean, you don't have to think of it as radialis metacarpi. You can think of it as an opposing thumb. But regardless, it's a really cool thing. But then when you see them using their beaks to take a piece of straw and put it in an ant bed to get it full of ants and then eat those ants. That's impressive. That's impressive. I've seen them do things with orangutans and all kinds of stuff. I mean, amazing. You give them a saw, they actually figure out how to use it. You know, I mean, it's kind of cool, you know. Slugger Scott with 8 gold gloves. I think we've got a rolling here and gently presses as a gas pedal. Okay, gas pedal. Pedal eases on, and what do we got here? Noted ring bearer could be Frodo. Yes, Frodo, go forth, take the ring. Refreshers that can be served with green wedges. How about limeades? I don't know. Did we mess anything up? I'm not sure. If I did, Sue would be screaming right now, and I would hear it from the future. Limeades. How do we do, Bob? Bam. All right. Very nice. What a lovely Friday grid. Okay, Bryan Cheong. This was really beautiful. Themeless, unless you want to tie the TNT and the dynamite stick together, but obviously it was just a great grid. And it wasn't like stuff was just jumping out at anyone. I've been doing these things for over 30 plus years. I mean, it's like, okay, some things you can expect. But for example, whatever I had that gave me alley-oop, but I mean, it could have been a cat. Ostensibly speaking, this is ours for this now in New York City, perhaps a rat, but nevertheless, it was the oop. But we got that in. Some things, like an RBI, a run batted in. To the baseball non-fans, or people that just don't really keep up, that could have been a bit of a tricky one. And there's a lot of that going on here. But this was, by and large, to an experienced solver, say you've been doing this for a year or two, this is one of these grids that you could really jump into, you could really enjoy. I mean, it was just the right amount of challenging, a little easy in some spots, but really kind of tricky in others. And I thought it was fantastic. So, Bryan Cheong, you've got a beautiful debut grid here, and I wish you all the luck. So just keep constructing, construct. Just keep building them regardless, right? Just put them out there. Very nicely done. Let's bring down our bannière d'adieu, and we will call class for the day. So tomorrow we're gonna see if we can't set something up at the local Enotech, the little wine bar we've got. Perhaps maybe next door at Delicato, which is this wonderful little store that's right downstairs. If it's in the adjacent building where we live here in the Altstadt or in the Fußgängerzone, none of that makes sense. I'm sorry. The pedestrian shopping area, which is where we live, here in the Old Town in Weiden. And we have a store named Delicato. And they've got everything that's just good. They got cigars. They got pipe tobacco. They've got scotch. They've got gin. They've got good wine. They got sausage. They got cheese. Everything that I love in life is right there, right? So we'll see if we can't go set up something to maybe solve away from the Solver Studio tomorrow, and we'll see about that. But in the meantime, ich wünsche Ihnen einen schönen Tag noch. Auf Wiedersehen. Tschüss. Servus. Grüß Gott. Ciao. Cin-Cin. Be well out there. Be nice to strangers as always. And remember, when you meet someone with that really, really thick, hard to understand accent from another land, the person using that accent, they've got the heart of a lion on Cœur de Lion. So just keep that in mind and be patient as you will. We will see you tomorrow for the Saturday grid, either here, boring, or from someplace kind of fun. Until then, be well. Cheers.